the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 12, Episode 25, Reunion Part 2. If you haven't done so already, please feel free to like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe. It helps me out a lot. I really appreciate it. Thanks. So we just going to get right into the show, the drama, and everything else.
So it starts off with the receipts, y'all. So you remember when it was the episode ended and Portia told Andy that she was going to send him some receipts on Kenya talking about Cynthia. So Cynthia had went on like shows in response to this and said that she have heard the receipts. So anyway, and apparently the receipts was more so about Cynthia. I mean, not Cynthia, Eva. And at the time, like Cynthia said, they wasn't banging with one another as far as Eva and Kenya. They wasn't really, kikiing like that with one another. And she said she basically was just trying to stay out of it, stay neutral because she was friends with both of them. So it wasn't like it was a real blow to the friendship between Kenya and Nene. I mean, not Kenya and Cynthia. And like everybody already know, because it's the running joke, but it's true that Kenya can almost probably sleep with Mike and get away with it. You know what I'm saying? Because Cynthia does not see anything wrong in what Kenya do. Like she do a lot of fucked up shit that she shouldn't do, and Kenya go along with it. So whatever. I mean, Cynthia go along with it. Whatever. So they brought up the Nene situation with Cynthia and Nene too. So she was like, they're gonna try to do it, take baby steps, because Nene, she feels though Nene hasn't accepted a lot of responsibility for things that she did, and we all seen it in this season. Nene fake crying, and it seemed like Cynthia had to, Nene always walking out the scene or acting like she can't take it instead of dealing with the problems, and then it seemed like Cynthia the one consoling Nene, and they not really getting to the butt of it. You know what I'm saying? So I guess it is like a work in progress with them, and that's why I think Kandi and them have such a problem with Portia and how so tight Portia and Tanya trying to be with Nene, and like it's like back to old times again, because after certain things was done to them so much, Nene did a lot of dirt. So if Nene did all that dirt, saying all them hurtful things, I don't understand how you could just with one conversation y'all back to how y'all was, y'all once was. That don't make sense to me. But I guess Portia really missed the friendship, because ain't no way in hell that we'll be kikiing like that. We small steps, because now I know what you capable of doing, and you ain't gonna burn me twice.
So a viewer had called in and asked Kenya.
So someone called in about Cynthia and asked her, why you keep hitting them around about having kids. Cynthia was saying, listen, y'all gotta know how to take a joke, distinguish what's a joke. So she had let everybody know how she's quarantining. She was, in LA, with her family. And they talked about Noelle, because she's okay with Noelle, having a girlfriend. And, Cynthia, she seems to be handling, Noelle's choices really well. And Noelle's pretty lucky to have Cynthia, because a lot of people not afforded that same, love and affection from, the whole family. So that's a good look. That's good. Then they were talking about, the babies. Everybody baby is doing good. Marlo seems to be doing real well, and the Monty auntie, I think they call her Monty realm. So the boys seem to be doing real good, under her care and things like that. So, Marlo may be a lot of things, but at least she's the most stable for those kids, and she's giving them a pretty good life. So, I applaud her on that. Then they touch bases on, the Shamia situation with Portia. And Portia said that she was trying to, be, cordial with Kenya and, putting a lot of stuff in the past with Kenya. She was like, but a lot of Kenya old ways came to the surface on, on the show. And she was like, that's what kind of made her, like pause a little bit. And that Shamia situation really rubbed her the wrong way. And Shamia and, they have they view of things, and Kenya have her view of things. And somewhere in the middle is the truth. You know what I mean? I think Kenya did do it to be smart. I think she did take that opportunity to try to, be shady towards, Portia, and that wasn't the right time to do it. And Kenya, some of these rumors is right with Kenya. You cause a lot of stuff, but then you act like you can't understand why you got repercussions for it. You can't just throw stuff out here and then think it's not happening. And at the Marsha Dines event, it's just not a place to be, being shady. So I am in agreement with them. Like, Kenya, sometimes you deserve what the hell you get, and that's just it.
And eggs. Kenya, I get a kick out of your shade. She was like, why do you act surprised when somebody, call you out on it? So Kenya was like, she don't. So Marlo had, chimed in and was saying, yes, you do. She was like, and you were wrong, for bringing that marching band at my, event. And she gonna say, oh, that was funny. That was funny. And Cynthia gonna say, that was fun shade. No, the fuck, it was not fun shade, okay? It ain't nothing funny about somebody purposely trying to sabotage somebody's business launch. So, Cynthia, I'm going to want you to take a couple seats back with it. You got to be able to be a friend, but keep it real at the same time. You cannot keep making Kenya think that she's not doing nothing wrong when she is. Now, don't get me wrong. In the same token, because Andy had said, I forgot what Andy said, but Kandi said, no, he posed the question to him, do y'all think it was funny or just fun shade? And Kandi said, I think it was funny, but it wasn't fun shade. And it wasn't. It was out of pocket. And then Kenya gonna say, oh, everybody was laughing, everybody was getting a key out of it. And Tanya said, no, that's not true. She said, Marlo was very hurt by that. No one was laughing, but I think a lot of people was laughing, probably caught them off guard, but in retrospect, it wasn't funny. You understand what I'm saying? And it's a time and a place for that. I feel like they need to have people events off limits too. But then I guess if that's the case, we won't have the drama. So hey, keep it going. So then they get into it because a viewer has said, something to the effect to Marlo. How do you expect Kenya to have respect for you when you said, to her that her own mother didn't want her? So Marlo want to sit up there and say, oh, well, that was 4 or 5 years ago. And then they had played the clip because Kenya was saying, no, you said it at your hair care launch. And they played a clip of Marlo saying how Mr. Daly didn't want her and stuff like that. So her and Marlo start going back and forth, and Marlo talking about you keep having men every season, and your cooch, something to the effect about your coochie not right, nobody wanted, and so Kenya was saying, Marlo, she was like, you ain't having men on this show since you and Nene was fucking the same man. I'm like, oh my goodness. So then Nene get on there, and then they had show when Nene was talking to that white guy that owned that restaurant. You remember she was messing with that guy when she was split from, Greg, and Nene was like, I ain't never fucked nobody. She was like, I ain't never sleep with nobody. The same person with Marlo. She was like, you don't know what you're doing. She's talking about your men is social distancing from your ass. Some shit she was saying from, I think she said maybe from her pussy. I ain't even sure. But, oh my God. So then Kenya was like, that's the problem with y'all. She was like, y'all hate it. She was like, y'all keep getting mad because y'all ugly. Y'all mad because the pretty girls. I'm like, ooh. Now I had just looked at a review one of the people that I look at, and he had said he did a thing about like the colorism on the show, or how they try to make fun of the dark skin or the light skin, and somebody had said that Kenya is brown skin, but she don't identify as the normal dark skin. Like she still thinks she like a top tier normal dark skin, if that makes any sense. This is not my words, this is what they were saying. And I'm wondering if she really do, because she keep coming in, Nene calling Nene ugly, talking about you got this done, you got that done, and then Nene keep coming in her talking about her skin and things like. I'm like, at a certain point, y'all gonna have to grow up and get a little bit more mature. I know it's an easy dig. It might be an easy read, but I'm gonna need a little bit more sophisticated reading because I don't want to see no 60-year-old fucking women fucking calling somebody ugly. I just don't. Like, come on, give me something better than that. And Nene, your reads could be coming a little bit goddamn better than what they coming. For you to have them written down, we seen that your reads was on top of your laptop. So, you give us something else.
So Andy was right at Kenya because he was like, well, why? He was like, you seem to have a problem when people come for your business. So why is it okay for you to come, for everybody else's business? Case in point, Marlo. So she was saying, oh, Marlo, she kept fucking with me at the Bailey queue. And Marlo was saying something about how Kenya had water that was supposed to be product, but it was water in those jars at her lunch. So they were going back and forth, with each other because she was trying to dismiss what, Marlo was saying. And they had valid points. Like, you do be fucking with people's shit, but you don't want nobody doing it too. So that's what Andy was like, oh, so basically you saying you can fuck with other people's stuff, but you don't want nobody messing with yours. He was right at her. But he called her out, and she needed to be called out for that shit. She really did. So a caller she wrote in and said that, how did you feel about calling, Tanya to see you next Tuesday? So Kenya said that she apologized. She was like, she was wrong for that. And that was like, a mishap on her part. So Tanya was like, well, I feel like she had to acknowledge something in her part, and I just take it as it is. Tanya really don't believe shit that Kenya's saying. I don't even think she even... At this particular point, I don't even think Tanya want an apology from Kenya. It's probably those two will never mix. But, whether it was a sincere apology or not, she did say it. And you got to take what you can get from these ladies. Trust me. So, Andy said to Nene, he was like, you made a comment that Kenya kind of deserved what she was getting, in regards to, like, Mark. So, Kenya going to say... So, I guess you deserve did you deserve what you got when your husband was messing around with the help? Oh, my God. Kenya got on Nene's ass. Nene ain't really had too much to say. She was making, like, the same old go-to insults, you dry pussy and all this old crap. Like, and... Oh, my God. So, she was like, so Nene said to her, like, yeah, you better be worrying about what your husband doing. He probably running around. She was like, well, we're separated so he could do whatever he wanted to do. But he ain't at my house trying to mess with, the babysitter or, the help, some shit she said, whatever. When I tell you, Kenya, that might be a sore spot for her when they come dig at her about her husband. But she came prepared, honey, because she kind of shut Nene down. Because when she's about, well, how do you feel? She was like, is that your karma when your husband was messing with the help? Child, I don't know. I think I probably would have been stuck on stupid there too. Because Nene ain't really had too much to say. Her go-to, like I said already, your dry cooch and all this old stuff. Come on now. We're going to have to get some more better reads. But that shit was funny as hell. Because she, how Kenya sit there with the little smirk on her face as she reading. And you can see, Nene all bothered in the face, all flustered, and Kenya just as calm as a cucumber. Even though she probably inside is boiling, but she ain't letting them have to see her sweat. She is not letting them see her sweat. So then they brought up the fact that, so somebody had wrote and said, why were you insinuating about, the cookie lady? Why you just didn't tell Tanya? So... she was saying that Kenya was saying initially, she wasn't talking about her. She was like, and everybody else thought it was, she said Portia even thought that it was her. And Portia was like, no, I only thought that it was me for 2 seconds. I only thought about it was me 2 seconds. And then Kandi was like, for a minute, I thought she was talking about me too. She was like, and and then as it kept going on, I realized, what it was, hitting for. So apparently the only people who was privy to the information in the beginning was Kandi, Cynthia and Kenya. But somehow along the way, Cynthia told Tanya when they were in Canada about this cookie lady situation. So I guess it'll come out. I'm not exactly sure what the timeline with that was, but Tanya was privy to the information, and Kenya used it as a dagger. But maybe that's because she was hurting in her situation. Because hurt people like to hurt people. You know what I'm saying? So Cynthia said the cookie lady situation happened months prior. She was like, prior to when they divulged it at the table. She said she don't think Kenya was going to use that information until Tanya pissed her off. And Portia said, when they went to the spa, Tanya was already up on game, so that's why she used the wig as payback or ammunition. And so Tanya was like, yeah, because Kenya, this is how she plotting. The wheels keep turning. She was like, I don't understand why she got so mad at the mere mention that someone said that she wore a wig. She was like, what's the big deal? And so Kenya said, I never told anyone that I don't wear a wig. She said, occasionally I do wear wigs to protect my 24 inches of long real hair. And then you see Nene and Marlo and everybody else rolling their eyes and stuff like that. Now, my thing is, I don't understand why Kenya got so goddamn mad about, her wearing, her with the wig and things like that. That would not have bothered me. When you know for a fact that you can part your hair, you can, pull your hair, you can show the world that, you have real long hair. If you thinking, if she showed that I wear a wig, maybe people may think that this is not my real hair or it's not growing. You can prove that it's growing from out your scalp, okay? And let's be clear. Let's get this straight. You do have long, beautiful hair. You do. But it's people whose hair may not grow that long, but it's still beautiful in its own right and it's still healthy. Beautiful hair is healthy hair. That's what it is. It's not, because it's long, it's beautiful. Because you can have short, healthy hair and it's still beautiful. So we got to get out that notion that only long hair is good hair. No, that's BS. It's BS. Healthy hair is beautiful hair. Point blank period. It ain't up for discussion. I don't care. Kenya gonna tell Tanya, she gonna say, would have known that talking about your relationship was such a, sensitive subject, because maybe y'all wasn't, y'all may have been in a rocky situation, I wouldn't have said anything. So she was like, so Tanya said to Kenya, she was like, here we are talking about this, and Mark is all in New York with a whole restaurant and salad bar, but you try to pull me down in the second place because you was already there. Child, that was a hot damn mess. And so Kenya was like, oh, there you go. You got to read. Nice one, Tanya. Nice one, Tanya. So she will call Tanya corny. So Andy will say, she not corny. She just from Canada. I like to hit the goddamn floor. I was like, why they clowning Tanya like that? I like Tanya. Tanya don't bother nobody. She just sick of Kenya shit. That's all. She's sick of Kenya. So Portia posed the question to Tanya and asked her, do she think that it was other people that was behind that cookie lady situation other than Kenya? So she was basically insinuating that it may have been Cynthia or someone else, in on it. So Tanya said that, the person who actually pulled the trigger is the one who's guilty. She was like, now, guilty of the crime. She said, now, she doesn't blame Cynthia or anybody. She was like, 'cause sometimes when you roll with pigs, you get dirty. So, someone said, yeah, now they dragging Cynthia. I think that was Kenya. She was like, oh, now they dragging Cynthia. So, Portia had brought up the fact that Cynthia had made a comment saying that maybe the cookie lady should have brought the cookie lady to Brooklyn a party so she can address Tanya. So they had showed a clip when when Cynthia had said it when her and Eva was doing, I guess it's like one of them little episodes
to do like a response to the show or something like that. She was like, at the time, Tanya wasn't on the show like that. So, Tanya was saying how she give, Cynthia a lot of credit and things like that. But Portia was really trying to throw Cynthia under the bus, and Cynthia said, well, before they got it, Eva was like, to the defense, she was like, I did swoop you out of there, Tanya. And Tanya was like, you just shut up, Eva, because you was sitting up there keep eating those cookies. And Eva was like, yup, because they was good as shit. Tanya is really mad at the fact that motherfuckers was eating them damn cookies. Shit, they was in my face. They was free. They was good. I would have ate them too, Tanya. I would have ate them too. Like, come on. Like, shit. Anyway, so Cynthia said that she was mad because Tanya didn't. She kind of let it go. She kind of let keep going. The narrative go like, they ambushed her, or they was just there being jerks, and she was like, that wasn't the case. And then they asked Kandi, when on your show, because she do like a speak on the show, they was like, why did you decide to not have no comment? And then Portia had commented, no comment, speaks volumes. And Kandi had responded to that tweet and said, means no comment, mean I don't give a fuck. So Kandi said, I wasn't there for none of that shit. Basically, she was like, so I don't understand why people want me to comment on it. She was like, it's not none of my business. So Tanya was saying, it's the principle behind it. You should comment on because it's a principle. She was like, you know what? Me and Tanya don't even know each other all that while, all that well. She was like, but Tanya, you gonna have to speak up for yourself. You gonna have to defend yourself. She was like, not long ago, somebody had brought some drama to me about Ty, and they had played the clip when the girl was saying that Ty always been like on a come up and stuff like that. And she was like, and I held my own. I ain't bring nobody up in there. I defended myself. She was like, I don't have to get into y'all shit. And that's true. Like, it seemed like Tanya want everybody to fight with her. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I could sympathize with you, Tanya, and say, yeah, you wrong, that was wrong, or this and the other. But I can't fight your fight for you. You have to fight your own fight. Everybody that was sitting there looking at it know that shit wasn't right. You know what I'm saying? But you got to do your own, sparring, Tanya. You just do. Moving on from that. So, someone, wrote in to Kandi and asked her, they made the, a choice of having like a surrogate, for the baby. So the lady had wrote in and said, you were having, doubts that you would be connected to the child since you wasn't actually physically carrying it. She was like, since the baby been born, has that changed? And she was like, definitely. She was like, if anybody thinking about going that journey, please do. She was like, once that baby come, you forget all about that it wasn't because like you didn't carry that baby. They was like, the bond is still there. Everyone's love her. Everybody crazy. She just fit right into the family. And Kandi said, she is just as connected to her as she is the ones that she birthed. So she said it was a wonderful experience, and she don't regret it. And she was like, Andy, because Andy had a baby via surrogate, his little son. And he said that's the best gift that you can, receive, and it's the best gift that you can give, for a surrogate to give a family, that ability to have a child. So kudos. And what I tell y'all, I know y'all probably seen Baby Blaze. Baby Blaze look exactly like Kandi when she was a baby. That is her split. She is a split image of Kandi. She really is a carbon copy. So Andy had moved on and asked Kandi, it was sad to see that, Ty and Kayla went through their issues. How's that going? So she said they're, fine. They FaceTime and they talking every day because Kayla back in New York because she had went to New York to work on like her fashion and things like that. And then I guess she probably got caught up in like the corona. She was like, like with every family, they go through their stuff, but they're, on the right track. And, it probably was an adjustment for Kayla, getting thrusted into that blended family. And then, Kandi has so much and she gives her children so much, but he is a more, stricter parent. So he wasn't really maybe doing as much for her, like in that sense, because he was, trying to teach her a different way. And I don't know if that had something to do with it, or I don't know, but it could have, it could have been just, her growing up and she just wanted a little bit more independence, and he probably was, still trying to be that, authoritative figure, and she probably was rebelling against that. It could have been a number of things, but I'm glad they ate on the men and getting things together. He also spoke on Mama Joyce. So Portia, so she said that Ty and Mama Joyce is fine. She was like, Mama Joyce did get mad again, I think, after she seen like the show or something, because, or people keep coming saying that Mama Joyce want Kandi's money. And Portia kind of attested to it too. She was like, Mama Joyce is just protective over Kandi. She was like, that's it. She was like, and he just like a casualty of war. So Kandi was saying, listen, my mom took care of me before I had any money. She did a good job, made a good living for me. She was like, and now that I'm able to do for her, she was like, I'm going to, make sure my mom okay. She was like, my mom is not after my money. She's not after my money. And now her and Ty is in a very good place. She said after Blaze was born, I guess she probably realized, listen, this man gonna be around, so I might as well get with the program, and you might as well, join in. I ain't saying don't keep your eye on him, but have some respect for him if you want him to have respect for you, and have respect for your daughter, Union, because at the end of the day, he a man, so you can't keep pressing him. You just can't. You can't. So now we're on Eva. Andy had asked what is the next step, like what's the process now with her trying to get Mike to adopt Marley, now that they officially got the name changed. So she said that she was sued by the donor, which is Kevin McCall. She said she was sued by him, and then he ended up getting arrested at the courthouse when he was trying to sue her for child support and custody. And we all seen that footage of him tussling with the goddamn security guards on the escalator, and they both tumbled down. Yes, he is a lunatic. So, I'm sorry with the I'm sorry. I just had to get my train of thought. So Andy had asked if she didn't mind him asking how long were they together. So she says she got with him when she was in a phase where like she was just doing her phase. She was like, so they wasn't really in a relationship, but they was having sex. She was like, then she found out she was pregnant. But even not really keeping it real on that situation. Now, because then she said, let me say what she said, and then I'm gonna tell y'all why she wasn't keeping it real. Because she said that, it was like an abusive relationship. She was like, but she didn't really tell nobody because she said it was like a lot of signs that she seen, but she didn't want to believe what she was seeing. She was like, and then she kind of got in too deep, and he was hitting on. She was like, she didn't want to tell nobody. She was like, and then it was like a year later, he beat her real bad, and it was like, I think it was the cop. She said it was like, you have to press charges. You have to press charges. She said that's when she pressed charges. But why I'm gonna say even not keeping it 100% real. First of all, which you was just on and off or a fuck me type situation for a whole year and a half. And I don't know if you guys remember, Eva was on a reality show when she was living in LA, and she was pregnant with Marley, and she was living with Kevin McCall because he was filming right there too. Like, so was he just over there? Like, I don't understand, because y'all was on a whole freaking reality show. I remember this. Now, you guys, I don't remember the name of the reality show, but it was like, a couple girls. I think it might have been Neo's wife on there too, but I can't be 100% sure of that. But if you guys know the reality show that I'm talking about, put that down in the comment section below. But yeah, so even something about that story ain't 100%. Real. You trying to downplay the fact that you was in a relationship with him. And guess what? Like you said, you don't regret it. The outcome of it, you got your beautiful baby girl. So at the end of the day, you don't have to. You can say, listen, I was with him. It was my man. I was with him as long, a little too long than what I should have been with him. But hey, shit happens. You know what I'm saying? The good part is, like you said, you got your daughter because you said you would not take it back. You would not, change anything. You got your daughter, you love your daughter, and you out of it because you said 5 years later now you happy as ever. So God was working with you. He was working with you. And just Andy had said, he was like, y'all, you and Kenya, y'all see some strong. And he was like, that's a testament that even the strong people can get caught up in a bad situation. Yes, yes. Anybody can fall victim to somebody. That's what people don't understand. Anybody can fall victim to somebody. It's if you have the strength. See, that's when you separate the strong from the weak, because you got to have that strength to be like, this ain't for me. This ain't for me. I'm getting away. You understand what I'm saying? Before he end up taking your life. So Andy was asking Portia, he was like, how do you feel about what the ladies were saying? Because they had brought up clips about, the rumor about him with the bestiality and stuff like that. So she said she don't really expect nothing less from, the girls. She was like, and at that particular time, she was kind of numb from it, anyway. So Nene going to chime in and say, because he had asked Kandi, I forgot what Bravo, Andy asked Andy had asked Kandi, is the reason why she wasn't commenting on, the situation is because she wasn't trying to, cause friction with her and Portia, since they on the men with their relationship. And she said, so Kandi was like, she wasn't, going to talk, publicly about Dennis and Portia anymore because of that very thing that, she's trying to, get back to where they once were. She was like, so she's not, going to touch that situation. And Andy had asked Portia, did she feel as though, she moved too fast? And she agreed that she did. And I like when you in love and he probably sweeping you off your feet and things like that, you not paying attention to signs. Like she said, they should have probably made sure they was all out of, previous situations and things like that. She said, but in hindsight, she wouldn't probably not have done that again. So in the midst of all that, Nene gonna say to Kandi, now how she was like, now you shouldn't have been saying commenting on my relationship with Wendy. So Kandi like, huh? So Nene is trying to compare the fact that Kandi didn't want to comment publicly on Portia and Dennis' relationship to the fact that Nene didn't want to comment on the Wendy situation, which is two separate situations. Like, so they were going back and forth. She was calling Kandi forgettable. She's forgettable. She's boring. And Kandi, was saying F her. It was a fucking crapshoot. You know what I'm saying? Like, first of all, like, Andy had said to Nene, he was like, it's only one or two people you could have been talking about with their spinoff stuff. You only could have talked about Kandi or Kim Zolciak. So Nene trying to make it seem like she wasn't talking about Kandi when it's obvious that you are, because you said, oh, excuse me, y'all. You said that you didn't think that it was fair for only one person to keep getting all these, spinoffs and the other girls not getting it. Well, like Andy said, it was only two of them, Kim Zolciak and Kandi. And why are you bringing Kim Zolciak? Because she is not relevant at the moment. So what the fuck you bringing her up for? And Kandi know you was talking about her. Just own up to it. Like, she has been jealous of Kandi for years. And I don't know if it's because Kandi self-made and she made it from the, just grinding. She ain't had to, go through a lot of the things that, Nene per se may have went through. I don't know what the issue is, because she called it Miss, you Miss ATL and so all this old bullshit. I'm like, listen, they giving me a fucking headache, okay? I don't care. And that's when Kandi was saying, you embedded in my brain. I'm embedded in your brain. I'm embedded in your brain. Oh my gosh. They was going at it like two high school kids. So they got back on, Portia, and she was talking about the dentist, because Andy had brought up the fact that Dennis was seen with those two. I mean, with those. I think it was like he was in a diner a couple months back. It was like footage, all on the net, and it was like 3 or 4 women, like in the middle of the night at a diner. So Portia had said that she knew that he had went to the diner. She was like, it was a conversation that him and her had. She was like, she didn't feel as though she needed to drag it out on social media or, make us, think about it. She was like, he see, where he went wrong at it. She was like, she said she knew he went to a party. She knew who he was with, but it did not look cool for him to be there with those, women, in the height of everything that was going on. So I guess she was like, they're quarantined. She said she's quarantining there with Dennis, her mom, and baby PJ. So they're trying to figure it out. And I guess they, want to try their best to get it going. But he gonna have to shape. He gonna have to tighten up. He gonna have to tighten up. That's all I gotta keep saying, y'all. So they was asking Cynthia, if you call Nene a toxic friend, why didn't you, what do you think about, Kenya? Because they had made like clips when Kenya was doing a lot of shady shit. You know what I'm saying? Like she was. So Cynthia gonna say that she don't necessarily consider Nene like a toxic friend. And then and of course I heard, talking, they realized that Nene, had shut her computer off and she had left. It was listen, Nene, and then that's when Eva was like, that's what you do when the kitchen is when the heat is hot, you get out the kitchen. And Kandi started laughing. It was a whole fucking shit. I ain't gonna lie, Nene had a little, cause like I said, it got heated with her and Kandi. She had some, reads on Kandi. Talking about you. She would say you're unforgettable. And so Eva was like, what you meant to say? She's unforgettable. Some shit. She was like, no, you had it right. No, she said you're unforgettable. And she was like, so Eva was like, you meant to say she's forgettable. And Kandi was like, you got it right. You got it right. Like she was, and Kandi was like, when they were arguing back and forth, she was like, yeah, and you gonna keep singing my songs. The country came out of Kandi, but she was saying that. When I tell you, Nene and Kandi, they went at it like two goddamn hounds, okay? But they gave me a goddamn going headache. Listen, that's my review for this reunion. If I missed something, put it in the comments below. I'll maybe make up for next episode, because I think it's a part 3 reunion. So that's all I have for you guys. Like I said earlier in the video, please like, comment, and don't forget to subscribe, and holla at your girl.